Hey, what's up, guys? I know you probably heard about the boy who has become a father at age 13. He conceived a child at age 12, actually, and there's a big uproar over it. He's too young to be having kids, and the girl is 15, so they're basically saying that they're too young to be having kids. And the taxpayers, well, this is in England, and the taxpayers are like, oh, we don't want to take care of this child or whatever. We don't want to have our money go to this child, and England is sexing up the kids too much and all that sort of stuff. It's a big uproar over it. And to these people who are like saying, oh, why didn't they have an abortion? Why have an abortion? Because this girl was 15 years old. There are people at 41, 42 who have the same mentality as that 15-year-old girl, who aren't capable of taking care of children, right? So why must she abort the kid because she's 15 or underage, as you call it? Because it's actually not underage, to be having children at 15. Actually, it's very natural if you look at the natural order of things. All right, it's very natural for a 15-year-old girl to be having kids. I know they're saying that the 13-year-old boy could possibly not be the father because two other boys came forward and said that they had sex with the girl at the same time, a 14-year-old and a 16-year-old, and they both claim that other boys had sex with this girl at the same time. Let's be honest here. This girl looks like she has some problems. She looks like she's basically the Down syndrome girl in the neighborhood who everybody could have sex with easily. She's the easy girl basically because she has a little problem up there. So all these guys are probably just running through in this neighborhood. And all the priests in the neighborhood has come forward and said at least they didn't have an abortion. At least they went through with the pregnancy, so it shows that they respect life. I hate when these religious folks come out and they're like, at least this didn't happen. After like one big fuck up happens, they're like, at least such and such didn't happen after. They still committed a sin. Why ignore the first sin of having sex before marriage? And now we are on to, oh, at least they didn't kill the child. So that's a big plus. And the parents need to be investigated too, because they were allowing boys to come into their daughter's bed and sleep with her. Right? The girl's parents, that is. They were allowing these boys to come into their home, into their daughter's room and sleep with her. And they had no problem with it. Come on, something had to be up here. Only if they have a problem upstairs too, as I'm assuming their daughter does, right? Because as I said, she does look like she has some sort of problem upstairs. So it probably was inherited from the parents or something. It had to be, because there's no way, no legal way, that any parents could allow boys to come into their home and sleep with their daughter like it's no problem, like it's just okay, right? They had to be up to something. And why are people so amazed that a 13-year-old was having sex, or even a 12-year-old, right? And the youngest father in Britain was 12, so he probably was having sex at 11, right? So what's the big deal about it? I don't understand why it's so amazing to some people if it's not the first time this has ever happened. And like, growing up, I always thought it was normal for people to be experimenting at that age. That's the age where you start hearing stuff and you start experimenting. So why is it so like amazing to some people? And the next generation is gonna be even worse than this. And I hate to say worse because again, it's natural. The next generation is gonna be more educated about this at this age because of TV, because of people speaking about sex more freely. Every generation is just gonna get more and more common. It's just gonna become free to speak about sex in public and stuff like that. It's just gonna get more and more common. All you could do now is educate, right? People got pissed off when Barack Obama was like, I'm not even sure if it was true that what he said about educating kids about sex from like, not kindergarten, but like somewhere when they were young, start educating them about sex. Why is that a big problem, right? Start educating them from young. Let them know the goods and the bad about becoming a teen parent. Let them know that from a young age. I mean, I wouldn't, a kindergarten age, I wouldn't educate kids about sex. But as soon as they hit like, say, 8, that's the time you start educating these kids about sex. Because you can't stop them from doing anything. You could only tell them the good and the bad and let them make the decision. And what are parents going to do to stop this? Nothing, because they can't do anything. The only thing they could possibly do, and they wouldn't, is keep their kids cooped up in a room until they reach age 18. Right? They can't be allowed to have friends because their friends are going to tell them about sex, and it's just going to spread like wildfire among their little in a circle of friends, and that's how it gets spread. So they have to ban them from their friends, they have to ban them from watching TV, they have to ban them from people in general, because somebody's going to talk about sex and they're going to get wise to what's going on and they want to experiment. And it's natural. Again, this is something that's just going to come to you at some age, that maybe I should be doing something. It's instinct. And who taught humans how to have sex? Nobody taught humans how to have sex. They learned it on their own. The first humans, when they came onto this planet, however they came, they learned how to have sex on their own. Nobody told them what to do, where to put what, how